Namaste, doctor. How are you?
Yes, I'm fine.
Good morning,
Good morning. How are you?
professor. Yes, very well, very well. Thank you. It is
So ultimately we could meet.
it is a pleasure. It is my pleasure to have this
Yes.
honor. Thank you
Thank you. Thank
so much. Are you still in Chicago? Are you now in India?
Yeah, I'm still in Chicago.
Beautiful, beautiful. So let me start, if it's okay, with the introductions, since you are very well known in certain circles, but some viewers might not be as familiar.
Yeah.
Professor, Doctor, and Professor Ravi Prakash Arya has a master's and a PhD in Sanskrit linguistics, correct?
Yeah. Yeah.
So he is an expert, what you would call an erudite in all things Sanskrit and Sanskrit Vedic texts, yogic texts, correct?
Yeah.
So he has over 30 years experience and over 80 publications, including translations as well as his own work in all things yogic and Vedic. So
Yeah.
um, if you are looking for an expert in Vedic sciences in Sanskrit, look no further. Dr. and Professor Ravi Prakash Arya is as real as it gets. He has served in the faculty of several colleges, as well as principal and chair for colleges in Haryana, correct?
Yeah.
Would you want to add something to your
Yeah. And presently chair professor in a university, MDU, in a state university in Haryana.
wow,
Chair professor in university.
beautiful.
Yeah. That's all. That's all. No problem. And I'm also the member of Higher Education Council Haryana. Member Higher Education Council Haryana.
Beautiful. So, Professor, there are
Yeah.
so many questions I want to ask you, but
Yeah,
realistic.
yeah. You are welcome.
We have realist. Let me talk a little bit of how we met, at least electronically. So the viewers and your viewers and listeners and my viewers and listeners can um, understand the context. I'm an avid researcher, and in my research, I came upon the Yoga Vasishta, which
Yeah.
you graciously translated and edited for humanity.
Yeah.
And there was something in the book, I have to tell you. I mean, I don't know if I've told you the whole story, but there was something in the book which grabbed my attention besides Vasishta. It was also your own style, because in the text you make so many references. You don't only go with the traditional yoga or Vedanta, but you
Yeah.
also mix a lot of the Gnostic and even biblical references, which was very intriguing, to say the least. Um, so I said, wow, this here's a person who has actually gone outside, your regular spheres of study and studied further. So
Yeah.
how did you develop this style, Professor?
Actually, the study of many shastras, it doesn't depend if you are limited to one, confined to one book, then you cannot go beyond. In fact, I have studied the entire Vedic literature, all philosophical books in Sanskrit, and even the scientific books. So this is the result of the study of so much of the literature. Then you can make comparisons, you can do analysis also. So if you remain confined to one single book, this would be a situation like a frog in the well. He cannot go out of that sphere. And if you study a lot of books, if you have the knowledge of a lot of books, then your knowledge will become comprehensive. In Sanskrit, there is a scholar, Yaska, he is a Vedic scholar, ancient Vedic scholar. He says at one place, Bhuyo Vidyaha Prashasyo Bhavati. The person who has the knowledge of many disciplines, he is more appreciable. He can reach the truth immediately than those who remain confined to one single discipline or the book.
Absolutely. Yes. And, if you're anybody out there who is an honest seeker, well, I'm
Yeah,
sure will appreciate this because if you're confined to one single text, I mean, it's very easy, God
yeah,
forbid, but it's very easy to be manipulated. And,
yeah,
we see this in modern times. We've seen it in different times of history, right? If you
yeah,
don't know the history, you're condemned to repeat it. So you're very open to this kind of shenanigans where, somebody might lead you astray and in your search for the truth.
yeah.
It's at the bottom of what we're doing here, I believe. We're all looking for happiness.
Yeah, yeah,
Pursuit of
certainly.
happiness, the pursuit of
Yes,
truth.
our main goal or the objective is to seek happiness. And for that, if you would like to be very honest and truthful, I think your goal comes closer to you. And if you are dishonest and if you are not truthful, then you will be getting away from your goal, and that will be misleading for others also. That's the thing.
Wow, that's an amazing point that you make right there because what you're mentioning, if I understand correctly, is there is some ingredient of self-delusion that comes into play if one just blindly follows, only one stream. You can
Yeah.
be self-deluded and then you start deluding other people and you don't even know where the delusion began.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, what happens, na? Sometime we are not able to understand the intended sense of the original author. He's saying something else, and we are deriving some other meaning. And just to know the actual and the factual intended sense of the author, it is necessary to go through other books on the similar plane or of the similar type. If you will study more books on the same subject and by different authors, different seers, then you will be able to understand the intended sense of the original author better. That is the main thing. And if you remain confined to that author himself, then if there are certain confusions in your mind, you cannot clarify those or alleviate those problems or the confusions, and you will be a confusing lot and confusing others also through your writings.
Like the fool in the story. Very
Yeah,
interesting. Um, that there is so much to unpack and unravel there, Professor.
yeah.
So can you elaborate a little bit more on how you began? I mean, what were your beginnings? Did you have actual spiritual swamis or gurus guiding you, or was it always academic?
No, in fact, my initiation started from my house itself. My father, he was a great seer and a yogi also, you can say. He was always involved in yogic exercises,
Wow.
studying shastras, and he used to teach me that this is the actual knowledge. Because the knowledge, he used to say, the knowledge, there are two, three types of knowledges are. The one knowledge, it pertains to the body, huh? How to earn money, how to feed body, how to enjoy. Another knowledge that pertains to your mind and soul. Because a human being is composed of all these three things. It's a conglomeration of mind, body and soul. So if you keep feeding your body only the material that is useful for mind, or the knowledge that is useful for your body, that is not enough. That is not your overall development. It won't help in. But for that matter, you will have to seek knowledge that helps in the development of your mind, or that helps to your soul. So for that matter, if you want to, have the knowledge of mind and soul, then you will have to go with the study of the Shastras. And that is most essential. And I was very much impressed by his these teachings, and then my interest into the Vedic Shastras, it started developing. And when I was a school guy, I used to study Upanishads and all these things, whatever my level was. And then during those days, I used to be confused, because there were so many concepts which were, going beyond my comprehension, and I was not able to understand. But that increased my curiosity. Then I thought, if this is the real knowledge, I must study it. And this is how then I chose my academic career also the same way, because if you have the same goal, and that goal is going to be compensated or supplemented by your profession also, that becomes for you easy to get going. That is how this all begin.
Wow, that's amazing. So there is definitely some positive karmic overlay there.
Right, right. Because your past karmic sanskaras, they play a vital role. If you are interested in spiritualism, not this life itself, in your past lives also, you might have this type of intention. And when you pass from one life to another life, this interest and this curiosity becomes intense. And finally, when you will keep on going with this type of ideas or sanskaras, you will reach to the level of divinity. So this divinity is not the effort of one life, several hundred lives. It's the effort of several hundred lives. Just like Buddha says, Buddhatva doesn't come in one life, but it is the result of hundreds of the lives. So these the sanskaras, they play a vital role. And here we must also understand what is sanskara. Sanskar is the information that we gather from outside world or from inside world, and that information becomes decoded into our mind, that stall body. And that stall body, it accompanies the soul itself. And what type of sanskar we have in our stall body, the same type of birth we will get. In Vedanta, there is a sutra, sanskara bijata srishti. These sanskar, they act as the seed for your new life. So, just like a seed has the information of the future tree, similarly, this sanskar, this is the psychological genes. It has the information of our future life. And when we get the biological body, then these psychological genes, these sanskaras, they translate into biological genes, DNA, RNA, and that is how you develop. So, whatever we are doing or anybody is doing, that is based upon his sanskaras of the past life, karmic sanskaras, whatever we think, with whomever we interact, whatever we do work, all these things, they are going to be encoded as a sanskar. So this is sanskar has a crucial role to play. Only this background, only the environment, atmosphere, it is not going to affect that much as the sanskar itself. But suppose you have a particular type of sanskar, and if you get the same type of atmosphere in your life, then that sanskar will dwelp immediately. It will come out immediately, and that atmosphere will start helping you. Sometimes you don't have, you have a different type of sanskar, but you get a different type of atmosphere. Then it becomes very difficult to go to dwell for the development of those innate sanskaras. And you remain confused, and their further development is not possible. And if you want to develop them further, then you will have to do a lot of struggle with the atmosphere, with the people surrounding you. Then you can come out. But if you have the similar atmosphere, then immediately you will get a boost up, and you start developing the same way you had uh, the interest in the past.
So keep the company of the wise is something that you're saying here.
Right. That is why in Sanskrit there is a sat sangati. The company of the wise is must, just to get the direction and to keep you, following the same path, so that you may not get astrayed or be misled.
Correct. So if you're running with wolves, you will end up howling in the opposite sense. If you're always with
Right.
drunk people, you will end up drunk.
Yeah, no doubt. That is why the gentry, the people look after the gentry. They want to stay with the persons of their own mindset. They don't want to, even today also, the people seek that what type of persons I can interact, I want to stay. So that is most important. And books are the biggest friends. A person is known by the company he keeps, but now we can say a person is known by the books he keeps, because books are also a good friend. When you don't find some human being as your friend, you can have books as your friend to keep you following the same path.
Absolutely. Tell me what you read and I'll tell you who you are.
Yeah,
Could be,
yeah,
could be
certainly,
a
certainly.
modern day shloka. But
Yeah.
so that was masterful, masterful explanation of samskaras. How would you compare them with vasanas?
Vasana is not different from sanskara. These are the similar names. Vasana, sankalpa, sanskaras. Vasana means whatever you get from outside world through your desires. Vasana is more associated with your desire. Whatever desire you will have, you will be attracted to the same type of atmosphere, and you will want to have the same type company of the same type of persons, and you would like to have, you would like to do the same type of work, and there all these things are ultimately going to influence your sanskar. So vasana is also sanskar, but that is related or connected with your desire leading to the formulation of some particular type of sanskaras through acts, through uh, thinking process, and through your companies or atmosphere you are living in.
For sure, for sure. And I myself, I am very analytically minded. And
Yeah.
so a lot of these concepts, when I was younger, I had a lot of trouble comprehending, understanding. And I think in today's world, the modern world, very plastic, very artificial, a lot of the, we lose a lot of engineering. Not that I lose, but a lot of people that are in engineering, inclined or have this type of mentality, very practical tinkerers, I call them as well. They are kind of they think everything like this is hocus pocus or belief or it's not based on reality. But what I tell the people here in the channel and my people in my personal life too, it's a think of it as a technology. It's just too advanced for you to understand right now, but it's like a laser can transmit information, correct?
Yeah, yeah,
In the
certainly.
same way, your soul contains all these, what you're calling the describing now, this samskaras information that you're gathering. And in your next life, it will go inside your next mother's womb and it will 3D print almost.
Yeah.
a new body based and a brain, hands, eyes, feet, based on what you have done in your past lives and what you have accumulated, correct? Is that a correct understanding?
Certainly, certainly, it's very much correct. Because there are two types of levels. One is Vyavharika level, the level of mundane life. Another is Paramarthik level, the level that is beyond this mundane life. The persons who are living at the Vyavharika level or mundane life, level of mundane life, they cannot access the level of paramarthic level, or you can call it the spiritual level. So that is a different level, and this is a different level. That is why the people who are engaged in this material life, they think that a spiritual life or the paramarthic level is hocus pocus and nothing can be achieved, because whatever is visible to them, they are satisfied with that, and they want to gain more and more comfort. But a spiritualist, he would like to gain more and more spiritual happiness, not comfort. Comfort is different from happiness. Comfort is a thing or an idea related with your body, but happiness is an idea related with your mind and soul. So these are the two different aspects. And the Vedic scholar says these are two different paths. One is known as a Preya Marga. Another is known as a Shreya Marga, Shreya. Shreya means the path of spirituality. And the Preya means the path of materialism. Or you can enjoy both. And the most perfect person in this world is that who understands this material path as well as that spiritual path, then he will be able to discriminate between the two, and he can choose the best one to follow. But the persons who are just uh, confined to this material path, they cannot understand that higher level of path. Just like there are different level of students. One is a primary level of student, another is a higher level, another is university level. So they have different type of understandings. And you are very much right when you said whenever they will be able to understand that, then only they will realize that that is also one of the paths. So this is with your understanding, with your level of understanding, because the spiritual path begins where the material path ends. So that is a different plan, and everybody cannot understand it. It's so difficult. And that is why two types of knowledges, vidyas, have been described, para and apara. So this material knowledge, the knowledge of this material universe, that is known as aparavidya. And the knowledge of spirituality, soul, Brahman, that is known as paravidya. So you will have to transcend yourself from para level, apara level to the para level, and that requires lot of sadhana, lot of practice. Many sadhana of many lives, practice of many lives. It's not so easy to understand.
Wow, there is so much information here, doctor. I think this conversation could go on for hours. But
Yeah,
for our
it
first
is
time,
that much.
we will have to. What I'm saying is try to. Well, excuse me if I'm a little short in my questions because we have short time. But maybe
Oh,
we can, if you like it, and if the listeners, your listeners, my listeners like it, we can do more in the future. Uh,
yeah, yes, yes.
so many things to unpack here. For example, I was very much interested when you said your father and all other yogis were seers. You classified them as seers.
Yes.
Um, for so can you elaborate on that? You didn't say scholars, you didn't say researchers, you said
You know,
seers. Why is that?
what is different? If one has studied Bhagavad Gita, it says if you are able to get birth in the family of a poor yogi, think that you are the most fortunate person. So yogi sarvesham paramo matah. The yogi can be the seer. And jnani, no doubt, jnani is uttama, the superior class, but it is inferior to the yogi, the seer. Seer, a scholar cannot be the seer. And sometimes some dharma shastras, they compare a yogi with the Satya Yuga and a jnani with the Treta Yuga. So this and a person who performs yajnas with the Dwapara and Dani, a donor with the Kali Yuga. So the level of a yogi is much higher because a yogi, a seer can perceive the things beyond the perception of a human mind. He can think beyond whatever a scholar thinks because a scholar remains confined to the visible world. And when a yogi can perceive even the invisible world. So that's the difference between a yogi, a seer, or a scholar and a scientist.
Wow, that is pretty amazing. Thank you. Thank you for that, doctor. Yes, it's like they have this sixth or seventh sense where they can act
Yes, yes,
um, a library of the infinite wisdom of the supreme chitta, of the supreme Satchit Ananda, right? The supreme consciousness, the Akashic records, or how would you describe?
you know, the Brahman is known as the source of all knowledge. This knowledge is the prerogative of the Brahman. And the Atman is close to Brahman. So when Atman, no, it's not close, means Atman is just a part of Brahman, you can say it is just like the mind is the part of the material world. This Atman is the part of the spiritual world. So when Atman, it goes inside, when your journey is inside journey, then your Atman gets attached with the Brahman. And you can, you know, obtain or that gain that knowledge existing in Brahman. But when your Atman, it goes outside with the help of mind and your sense organs, then the information of the outside world, this material world, it will be able to get. And that way, that real knowledge, it it won't be able to get. And once you have that spiritual knowledge or the knowledge of Brahman, you will be able to have the knowledge even of this material world. Tasmin vijjate sarvam idam vijjatam bhavati. In Sandogya Upanishad, he says, when a seer is able to recognize, experience, or realize Brahman, he will be able to know everything. And in Yoga Darshan, the same thing has been described by Ritambhara Prajna. A yogi develops a mind known as Ritambhara. Rit means knowledge, the laws of universe. Bhar means the intellect, the mind full of the laws of universe. You will develop that mind, and when you will have a Ritambhara Prajna, you will have the knowledge of everything. Nothing remains to be known to you.
Wow, that is pretty powerful right there.
Yeah.
Ritambara, and with Ambara there, you also have that wordplay because Ambara is also the compass, no?
Yeah, yes, yeah.
Leading you to the North Star Dhruva. So
Yeah,
so many interesting things, and yes, I mean, I am just beginning with my Sanskrit studies, of course.
yeah.
I'm like a little baby, but um, it is also, I don't know if you can mention how you speak Hindi, you speak English, you speak German, and you are fluent in Sanskrit. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure you have exposure in your travels and your teachings to so many other Tamil and French and other
Yeah.
languages and cultures. Um, and you know, to me, it's very obvious that the roots of all the languages come from Sanskrit. And
Yeah.
so, what can you say regarding this? So, some people believe, oh, this is just dogma. No, what can you say that is actual fact?
Yeah, actually, as we know, the Veda is the oldest book in the library of the world, and Veda is composed in Sanskrit language. So, indirectly, we can assume that Sanskrit must have been the oldest language in the world. And when we do comparative study of the languages, we find so many things of Sanskrit language borrowed by other languages. Even the sentences, even the words, and so much of the borrowings are there. Even the languages in India, they have some 80% borrowings from Sanskrit word. Your Latin, Greek, Gothic, Slav languages, and all these European languages, even the linguists, they say these are Indo-European languages, means they have the affinity with Sanskrit language. And the first concept, Sanskrit is most standardized language. Sanskrit means standardized language. When the people they used to speak languages at their own, a general flow of the language is there. When a particular language, that flow is standardized and used for the literary purposes, then that language is known as standardized language. So it happened with each and every language. Now, whenever we start composing literature in any language, suppose you are composing literature in English language, that has also become standardized. The previous language or old English, modern English, there is a lot of difference. So this is how the language they get improved. But you will be surprised to know that the Sanskrit language got standardized when the Vedas were composed itself. And it's such a very complex language. There is a accent system is there. Udatta, Anudatta, and Swarita. Any the accent is also going to decide the meaning of the words. So this whole things uh, suggest that Sanskrit is the oldest one. So other languages, other thoughts and ideas, just like they flow from the Vedas, similarly the languages also they flow from the Sanskrit itself. And there was one time that the people on the globe, they used to speak Sanskrit. They were the Sanskrit speakers. They had that vocabulary from Sanskrit language itself. Just like in English, you will find so many words. In English, you say night. Night means Nigst. In German, this word is Nacht. They say Gute Nacht, Nacht. In Sanskrit, the word is Nakt, 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 Nakt. So Nakt means night. This word Nakt, it went to Germanic languages as a Nacht, and from Germanic languages it came to Sanskrit, now English as a Nigst, Nicht. But afterwards, this GH became silent, and the people started calling it as night.
Well,
Similarly, I give you one more glaring example.
it's the same in Greek. It's nichta in Greek.
Nichta. And one more glaring example that to convince everybody, in Sanskrit there is a word uksha. Uksha. Uksha means bull, ox. And the plural of the uksha is ukshan. Ukshan. So from the word uksha in English came the word ox. And from that plural ukshan was borrowed in English as oxen. But otherwise, the structure is different. When you call box is plural is boxes, but ox is plural is oxen, because these are direct borrowing from the Vedic Sanskrit languages. So nor the ox should have been oxes, but ox is oxen. So this shows That these, what to say of the Latin and other languages, even the English language, it has direct borrowing from Sanskrit, Vedic Sanskrit itself. One more example I can give you. In English, there is a word no. No means negative. Just to negate anything, you will say. No book, we'll call it. In Vedic Sanskrit also, there is a word no. And when the word no is prefixed to a word, it starts negating it. Just like if you say no Indra, means Indra is negated. But when that no is suffixed to a particular word, that means give similarity. If say Indra no means just like Indra. So this English language, this sentence construction or the use of no is the direct borrowing from the Vedic Sanskrit. No book, no idea, we say like that. But in Hindi, it's not so. In Hindi, when you negate something, the no is applied after it. It is suffixed. जैसे book नहीं है, like that. नहीं book, we can't say. पुस्तक नहीं है, like that we will say. So these languages, even the European languages, they have so many intriguing features which are directly related to the Vedic language. I have written a book, Sanskrit, the original source of European languages. I have just highlighted all these similarity in that book.
Beautiful, beautiful. I will place the links to your website and to your
Ah,
publications here in the description. And we have a few minutes to go. Just, I wanted to ask you one last question before we go. And if not, we can do another conversation another time. Um, can you tell us a little more about your relationship with the Bible and how you studied so much of the Bible as well?
yeah, I went through Bible also because I wanted to see the similarities between Bible and the Vedic philosophy because the entire things in the world, they have come from Vedas and at different times, just like Gita. Bhagavad Gita is a new book for Hindus, but it is also based upon Vedas. Yoga Vasishta is a new book, but that is also based upon Vedas. Similarly, this Bible, the teachings of the Bibles, they are also based upon Vedas, where there is a similarity. But certain time we may find some other new, uh, you know, ideas by those authors of those times, because particular a book, a particular book, when it is confined to a particular region or geographical region, it may have its own ideas related or suitable to that region or suitable to those persons. When the entire humanity is one, the DNA of entire humanity is same. But what happens when the people, they went to distant places and they get disconnected with each other. Today everybody is connected with each other. There's no difference between USA, India, and other places. You can go within 10, 12 hours at every corner of the earth. But in Middle Ages, when this whole science and technology was not there, and the people, they just transferred from one place to another place by walking or through other means, and then they got disconnected. So the same language was corrupted and become a new language. Similarly, then on the pattern of the same old ideas, they constituted new ideas and composed new books and new theories they give. So the Bible is also the result of that transmigrations and all those things, although we find a lot of similarity in Bhagavad Gita, in Vedas, and the Bible. So just to have the study of world religions, because world religions, they have a similar base. I also did some studies on Bible and all these things.
All right, Doctor. Well, we'll wrap it up, and it's a fascinating subject for a future conversation.
Yeah,
Namaste, namaskaram.
namaste.
Thank you so much,
Thank
and
you.
blessings be unto you.
Okay, okay.